Good morning, good morning, good morning. Man, I'm sorry about the delay this morning to get on the fellas. Good morning, Antonio Davis.
What's going on, bro?
Good morning, Doc Patton.
What's that?
Good morning, D. Will. Something good. I'm not here, y'all brothers down, man. You know, it's always a pleasure to you brothers. Woo! Boy, it's so smooth. Bang. Good morning to the listening audience. We have PN Global News today here in Dallas, Texas. We've been filming here from Dallas for the last 2 weeks, due to the flooding in Houston, Texas. We've been down in Houston for the last 16 weeks doing PN Global News. So this week here, we're back in Dallas. We're here in our offices in Dallas, Texas. And today we'll be talking about millennials and job creation. And the reason we kind of, we all talking about the millennials and the job creation piece because, with us working with minority businesses and around the country, we know there's an opportunity for us to try to create jobs for a lot of millennial kids. And I just think it's very important that we now kind of talk about why and how these millennial kids need to get engaged with businesses all over the country they don't know anything about, or get engaged with, the athletes who, like, you, AD and Doc and Dame trying to own businesses and plants, and T-Mac trying to own plants. So we just kind of want to have an open dialogue today, and we'll probably do this for the next 2 weeks, and we'll have some guests coming on from their perspective, from the law enforcement perspective and what they see on the grounds. We'll have some other officials to come in and talk about, millennials that they interface with on a day-to-day. We know that today all the millennial kids have tats all everywhere, right? Everybody got tattoos and stuff like that. So it's just a dialogue that we thought would be very important, especially with a listening audience who have kids, or your kids are listening to what we're talking about, here at PN Global News today. But again, it's a beautiful day to be sitting down and standing up and looking at the brothers here.
Yes, indeed. It is.
AD, how was your trip in, man, from ATL?
It was good, man.
Well, I'm sorry, you're in California this time, right?
I was in California visiting family, as usual.
Yeah.
That always has one event after the next. But
right.
love to see family and spend that time. It's funny we're talking about this because I was just having a conversation with my younger cousin about getting into the business world. She's in high school now, so it's like plant that seed and let her know that a lot of it is having dreams and goals and not letting anything stand in the way of what you want to do.
Right.
Making sure you prepare yourself from an educational standpoint, just knowledge and experience.
Absolutely.
And she was telling me how she hadn't traveled, she hadn't been on a plane. So
oh wow!
We're gonna get her on the plane.
That sounds like somebody get on a plane pretty soon, right?
Yeah.
Get a little experience, right?
Let her see some of the other parts of the world.
Yeah, I think all millennial kids need to get on a plane. We need to do something to send them somewhere they can see another side of the world, right?
Different people doing different things.
Absolutely, that's what it's all about, man.
Yes, indeed.
Doc, what's up, baby?
I'm good, man. No long trip from Grand Prairie to here.
People always got something.
I'm good, man.
Doc said you traveling from Grand Prairie, right?
Dallas, man. Woo.
Good drive,
I made it, man.
Good drive, right?
I'm here and happy to be here. So
man.
Educate, talk to some of these millennials about job creation.
Yeah. You got your kids growing up in this millennial time,
Yeah, I got two. But I the only job they gotta do is keep their grades up and clean the room. I believe it's a job, though. It's a job.
It is a job.
If you're not doing it, you gotta get certain things.
Yeah, that's where it starts, right? Start Yep.
Just happy to be here, man. Once again, PN Global News.
There we go, man.
Educated, dropping knowledge.
D. Will, you got one coming up too, right? But you have a longer drive to the office today, right?
Oh yeah, my drive was real long, about 7 minutes. And that's gate to gate. I'm in here. Right. Yeah, man. This millennial piece it's kind of big for me because I am a millennial.
Yeah.
You fit in there.
I fit in. I'm right on the cusp. Like,
Yeah.
1835, right?
Right.
So
we're gonna be really harping on you a lot today.
But it's interesting to me to see how, like the younger generations are coming up, but also just where my friends are at now.
Yeah.
People I went to high school with, what they're doing, and just different situations that people have been placed in or that they put themselves in. And, some is they're going to fail, and some is, in hopes of being successful.
Yeah.
But it's interesting the different dynamics of how people are, I wouldn't even necessarily say how they're raised, but how they go about life mentally.
Yeah.
Like just what they think about different situations, what they think about different industries, different opportunities.
Yeah.
And it's really an interesting piece.
Yeah. It's amazing, man. It's amazing the way they're coming up now, in society today. And I know that, yes, we are here today in Dallas talking about PN Global News, talking about millennials, trying to really get involved in this whole job creation piece that needs to happen. Because, there's a big story out now that, President, 45 basically terminated the DCA. When you're talking about, 800,000 plus people could possibly, as the dreamers, be deported.
Right.
And even filling those type of jobs is going to be tough. There's not a lot of skill set millennials that's in those spaces.
Yeah.
So you've got a lot of challenges, man. We got a lot of challenges facing us, and we feel somewhat responsible to help. That's why we built PN, Playbook, InvestorsNetwork.com, to help businesses scale and grow, and to gain access to capital. But when they gain access to capital, it's to buy people. And a lot of millennial kids gonna need those jobs and can't get in those jobs because they just don't have the skill set. Just don't have the skill set.
I think even taking it a step further, hiring the right kind of people to do the right thing, to be more efficient.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, there's so many things you can do, and just hiring people and wasting money. I bet you if we go to any corporate structure right now,
Right.
we can eliminate, half of it right there, just because a lot of that stuff you don't need.
Yeah.
And not saying get rid of those jobs, but reallocate so that you're running efficiently. So hopefully what we're going to try to do is, teach these businesses, not only clean them up, get them capital, and all that kind of stuff, but make sure that they know how to run efficiently so that they're spending their money wisely. Because you're going to have to show how you're spending that money, where you spend that money, and where you need it.
Absolutely.
So what better way to come in and just show that you're efficient? Everybody has their job to run it like clockwork. Not like we do here at the office.
Yeah.
Everybody, run it like clockwork. Yeah. Stuff needs to be done. If you're part of this team, just get it done. Whether you think it's your job description or not, we're all the team. Let's just make sure we get things done.
And it's team, man. Doc, Dame, it's team with everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's team with you on the 4x4. It's team with you in the NFL. It's team with AD on the court. It's all about team concept. But, we're going to talk about some things that this might not be the easiest thing to talk about because, we got a lot of pushback from millennial kids. Yeah. They don't want to listen.
Yeah, man. I think that a lot of it is, like I said, I'm right there on the cusp, but like when I grew up, my parents weren't going for a lot of the stuff that's happening now. Like they just weren't like, but also, I feel like I didn't think about a lot of things that kids are doing now. It was just, you was afraid of your parents, or you was afraid of whoever the administrator was at school, or the pastor, or whoever. And you just kind of acted accordingly. Yeah. And I think a lot of times nowadays, because we got that Instagramification, man. Things are right there at our fingertips all the time. And I think a lot of millennial kids don't understand like the work that you have to put in to be good at something, to own your craft, or to insert yourself in a situation where you can be successful. And there's a lot of stuff that you have to build a foundation to grow that. And I think now with this Instagramification, and you can go to, anybody ask you a question now, you go straight to Google, look it up, and answer in 5 seconds.
Yeah, right there in front of you.
I remember, I used to have to go to the library, go check out an encyclopedia, and then figure out which is the right one because you know it was like A through B, C through D. So you gotta go through the card catalog. Yeah, man, like look the stuff up, you know. And I remember doing that, and nowadays I think, you know, the process of stuff is getting taken out. People just want the instant, overnight celebrity, or I'm an overnight millionaire, or whatever. And I think that that's one of the biggest issues.
I agree with you. I think that's part of it is that I'm all about innovation and things become easier.
Right.
But I think along those lines, we confuse easy and efficient to actually doing the work and the process behind it. You know,
right.
For example, you know, if you look at some of these Instagram stars making money, right? And you see someone post a video, you can say, okay, I can make that video, not knowing that was some work. There's a real production that goes behind that. There's production that goes behind that video.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes, like they said, we don't get that instant gratification, we stop.
Yeah.
And so if you're talking about job creation and you go into a job and it's not how you thought or expected because you hadn't had to go through the whole bunch of process, they're telling you have to, and you stop and go to the next one. Yeah. Like when are you going to actually find, you know, find that niche to go.
Find that niche where you go. I mean, even myself, and I tell my own two sons, you know, Rodney Jr., Robert, they bounce from job to job, you know, just constantly. I'm like, dude, you got to stay at one job, you know, because on your resume, they were like, well, shoot, you didn't stay at no job longer than a month or two.
Yeah.
You know, you left another job to go to another job for another $1 more, you know. So, I mean, it's like it's a whole lot of training that has to happen, has to be put on the ground. You know, I know that we all talk about, you know, as it relates to the influence of the athletes that we have on a lot of, you know, kids around the country. And we're challenging all our peers. I mean, AD, you talking about walking back in, and we're going to talk to the NBA. You know, you going to walk back in, Doc, and talk to the Olympians. You know, Dame, you gonna walk back in as the millennial,
Right.
right? As the millennial, there, yeah, you're millennial, dude, right? To talk to the NFL guys, you know, and you know, Tracy's. Oh yeah, by the way, congratulations, Tracy's going to Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
Mac,
Mac.
Congratulations, T Mac, going to the Hall of Fame on Friday tomorrow. But you know, he's considered a little bit over the millennial because you know he passed the 35 mark, right? But still got the brand and influence to talk to millennial kids, and he's got kids, you know, that's coming up in this entrepreneur society world. You know, because if we think about it right now in corporate America, that's not really no more corporation you really go to and you're going to get like a pension.
Right.
I mean, if I'm wrong,
Get that watch.
right. You're going to get that every year.
Yeah.
That's right. You might get a pension, you might get that watch. You might get a ring or a booklet for massages for a month with that service package for the next year, 18 months, 12 months, whatever. I mean, it's tough. So jobs are being outsourced. And what we're trying to tell millennial kids, like today is about millennial kids. And we're going to talk about a lot of stuff, some do's, some don'ts, why y'all doing certain things, why you acting crazy. You know, why you're smoking everything that you can see. I mean, it's gotten crazy, and some of y'all might be a little upset, and I'm okay with that, right?
Yeah.
But we're at least trying to tell you from our perspective and where we are that there are ways that you guys and ladies can do more. You know, actually work with companies in your neighborhood that you didn't know anything about. You know, you can end up making products that you don't know nothing about, but you saw something that you could do, and you could probably do a lot better.
Right.
You know, y'all very, very, very innovative, very creative. You know, instant gratification is your world. True enough, right? True enough, instant gratification is your world. But you align yourself, if you want to be like Damon and play NFL ball, you got to work hard. You know, this brother worked hard. You know, back surgery and everything else, and not being able to play. Some doctors telling you can't play football no more.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And you work that thing out. You work hard to get back to what everybody said you couldn't do.
Right.
You know?
Right. And part of that is, you know, like, it's why I'm here now, though, because, you know, a lot of people have that dream or aspiration of going to the league, but then, like, Like for me, mine was almost taken away in half a second.
Yeah.
You know, and it's one of those things is like, even while I was playing, I always knew in the back of my mind, like I was one hit away, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's like, you have to set yourself up to be successful, even when you're in your prime, you know? Because if you don't, you know, you leave yourself in a bad situation. And that's what happens with a lot of guys when they're exiting or whatnot. They didn't set themselves up while they were in their prime. So when they came out, it was like, now what?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
right.
And that's the thing about millennials now. I think that a lot of people don't set themselves up for success just simply because they're lazy.
Yeah.
Like, prime example. If I was one of those people online making memes all the time, those memes on Instagram are hilarious. Like, they're so funny, and they do them instantly. Like, I'm talking about you walk out this door and trip. By the time you get to the elevator, somebody's got a meme up that making fun of you. Yeah. They're hilarious, right?
Yeah.
But, like, imagine if those kids was, and this is 17, 18-year-old, 14-year-old kids at home doing this, right?
Right.
Imagine if those kids worked for marketing agencies.
Right.
Or advertising agents.
Social media.
Or was a creative director or the social media director for a company. Like, imagine if those kids were doing that. Because they're so creative and innovative, but it's just like, they want to use it to be funny. Like, not to make money. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean that to rhyme, but like, literally, that's,
I did hear that rhyme.
like, that's what they're doing. You know what I mean?
We got a little Damian Williams down here, right?
Spitting that hot fire.
Right.
But you know what I mean?
That's true.
Like,
That's true.
And I think that that's a major issue today. Is just people are just, they're lazy, or like their energy's misguided. You know what I mean? And what they're doing is they have the tools and the skill set, but they don't know they have the skill set because they're not using them in the capacity they should be using.
Right. And we want listeners and viewers to talk to your kids. Show them this video. I mean, we're not here just because we just want to be talking. No, we're here because we're passionate about really trying to let you understand that, one, you can do something, but you got to really want it. You know, you got to get out there and you got to really work it, you know, at your craft. As AD says, and as you say all the time, Doc and Dame, you got to work at it. You know, and if you're not, you know, familiar with what you want to do, just look around. It's like you said, all the things you out there poking fun at, there's a lot of things you can be working at. There's a lot of opportunities out here that we just don't really know, you know, how to get there. What do we do? I mean, all of us have talked about how we're going to help these high school kids, you know, get into that social media world because they're so fast.
Right.
They know the social media, man, like crazy. So we knew that we were going to set a plan up where we can actually work with these high school kids to be working for these mom and pop shops.
Right.
You know, with companies coming in the pen and getting capital, to gain access to capital and grow and scale their business, social media, marketing, advertising, all that's key to your business. These millennial kids can get you way out there.
Yeah.
They can get you out there. They can help you upload documents and everything else, but they also at the same time now they're learning a skill set, or they learn a new trade, or they learn about a new company they didn't know anything about that was making, you know, just this booklet. Right? We talked about this before. Everybody makes something, right? Somebody make these nice suits y'all got on, these nice ties. You know, these nice glasses Doc got on with his Nike brand, right? You know?
Like I'm being judged.
But I mean, we talk about this, and you guys know we talk about this all the time. Somebody made everything that we wear, everything we drive, everything we walk in, every pair of underwear, every t-shirt, every house you walk into, every light you see, every fixture you see, every stop sign, every sign, everything is made. And we're like, okay, wow. We can't find jobs. Meaning not us, but millennial kids can't find jobs.
Right.
And now to get a little critical, it's not today to just talk about all the bad things that millennial kids are doing, but we're also saying, hey, there's an opportunity for you to turn some of this around. Because if you don't turn around, which I said on this show today, we're going to have some other people on the show from law enforcement. They're going to give their perspective of what they see on a day-to-day. You know, from sports to law enforcement, I came out of that world, so I know, and I have my opinion about it. But at the same time, and I think, Damian, you and I go in pretty hard about that, you know, about, you know, the kids and police and everything else. But, man, there's a lot of things that need to be said. We're going to talk about that, too.
Yeah.
We're going to dive into it. But more importantly, this is for you to understand, and for parents, if you don't want to talk to your kids, show them this video. Go to PN Global News,
Right.
Look at this video and say, hey, I want y'all to watch this. I want you to listen to what these brothers are saying. I want you to listen to Antonio Davis, who played the NBA. I want you to listen to Doc Patton, who's a 3-time Olympian, that ran around the world and back. Right? Literally ran around the world and back. I want you to listen to Damian Williams, who played in the NFL. You know, I want you to listen to Rodney Woods and Tracy McGrady and all of our peers, all of our partners, you know. And we have other staff, you know, that's on our show, Shakita and Miranda, K-Mill, Jesse. I mean, we broke bread. We did break bread with Jesse last night. The wordsmith, J Mac, the wordsmith. Well, we broke bread with him. But I mean, you know, everything that we're doing, everything we're saying, is to help you.
Right.
You know, it's not school. You know, this is not school. But a lot of you millennial kids out here can do some good things as opposed to getting locked up.
Mm.
You know,
Right.
Going out here, sagging everywhere, tat everywhere. Oh, yeah, we're going to go there. Y'all already know we're going to go there because I got kids, y'all got kids.
Right.
You know, and we don't allow that in our household, right, fellas? Now, y'all might do it on the outside, but we don't allow that in our household.
I think the biggest thing is that, they lose this sense of understanding and respecting business as it is.
Yeah.
That's never going to change.
Yeah.
Regardless of, I think, and I've talked to my son about this too, you know, I don't want to take away your right to have your own identity. You know, it's almost like if you ask millennials to come in and have a shirt and tie or whatever, it's like you're taking away from them creating, being expressive.
Right.
Listen, if you want to come in with a shirt that you, I don't know, a crazy color shirt and a crazy color tie, whatever, to me, that's expression. But just know you gotta wear a shirt tie.
Right. Yeah.
Like there's no getting around.
Right.
Looking like a professional.
Right.
So, I get so disturbed watching the playoffs, for instance, and post-game interviews, you see guys come in a t-shirt or a hoodie or whatever. This whole AI and then all. Listen, man, if you want to be taken seriously, you got to show up and look serious.
Yeah.
And that's
real talk.
We are professional athletes, and if we want to be treated like professionals, we got to look the part. It is what it is. You walking in with tattoos up your neck or any of the other stuff that they deem unprofessional, it just is what it is. And I'm not in any way telling you that you can't be who you are, but just understand what you're trying to do and what it's going to take to get there. I don't always like the process, but going through that process gives us a sense of being a professional and being tied to what I'm doing, putting forth that effort and making sure it's the best. Therefore, we take pride in what we've done.
Right.
Like I used to take pride in after the game having on, my coat, my tie, and my shirt, because when I come out and I said something, I wanted you to take me seriously. And therefore, next time when you see me, whether I'm playing or not, and you walk up to me, you understand that I am a professional and approach me as such.
Yeah.
And I think millennials want to be approached as professionals as they come in with their t-shirt and their pants sagging down. And it just doesn't work like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Regardless of your color and your size and your whatever, if you come in with a shirt and tie, compared to coming with a t-shirt and your pants hanging off your butt. Those are two different expressions. Regardless.
You can
So,
have the same tattoos. You can have the same everything.
Right.
Yeah.
We can, if we did an experiment right now and we sent a kid in, tattoos up to his neck, blah, 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 but he has on a shirt and a tie compared to coming in with t-shirts and his pants hanging off, he's going to get two. Now, some of them may have issue with the tattoos and all that. I get it.
Right.
I think it all depends on my business and my situation. But if you're going to be sitting in my office and you're going to look like a professional and you're getting this work done and you're talented, I could care less about your tattoos. What I care about is your attitude, your heart, your work ethic, and all that other stuff. Now, there may be instances where I can't have you with tattoos up to your neck because we're going to be you're going to be going to meetings where you see other people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I always tell, kids in general, if you're going to get the tattoos, just understand you're limiting yourself to your brand. Like your brand can only grow so far if you have tattoos up to it, because only so many people are going to deal with it.
Right.
It has to be an artistic, marketing situation.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Right.
But if you're in that corporate world and you're dealing with some of the corporations, I'm sure we
deal with it.
You can't have it.
Yeah.
It just is what it is. So you're limiting yourself before you even walk into the room.
Yeah.
You can't even get in the room. That is a travesty.
Yeah.
That's what we're saying. Is you can't grow if you're limiting yourself to, people can't look beyond your appearance.
Yeah.
Come in looking like a professional, period. And they can judge you all you want. But if you open your mouth and you are who you are, you're smart, you're intelligent, you're thoughtful, you're whatever, they'll look past all of that. Now, I'm not encouraging tattoos.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that, there is a way to be who you are, but understand where you're trying to get to and what's going to take.
Well, absolutely. I think that's good. I will say, I think there's some similar parallels between the perception of professional athletes and also this area of millennials trying to imitate and being. So when you think about professional athletes, the percentage of, you hear the talk all the time, like only this amount make it. Don't do this. The rate of you not making it is slim to none, right? And if you take the correlation to some of the millennials, it's kind of the same thing. Is where you may see someone who dropped out of college or who is a Instagram star or a Twitter star and got a YouTube channel and not realizing we were all blessed, but we still are the exception. Like we made it to a level that not a lot of people did. So in the corporate arena or entrepreneur society, people see the exception as I can do that too. And it's like, well, it's just not that easy. It's just
there's
not
only
that
so
simple.
many markets.
There's only so many markets. There's so many Zuckerberg. There's so many of those. But we're using that. We use it as I can make it, just as a little kid to see AD and like, I can go to the league because I'm 6'8".
Right.
Like, well, it's not that simple.
Yeah.
And I think
6'8" guys working at Delta and probably
right. Hey, nothing wrong. So I think that's part of the issue is when it's time for millennials and job creation, it's cool to be yourself, right? But guess what? It's still some basic principles of professionalism that you gotta abide by in every arena. Guess what? At one point, NBA, that goes suit and tie. Eventually, you have to straighten it up.
Suit and tie on the bench. If everybody wore, say, black shoes, even now in the NBA, if everybody wear white socks, everybody gotta wear white socks. You can't wear different colors. Like there is a dress code to professionalism. Period. There's a certain way. Like when you walk out of the locker room, your gear has to be a certain way. You can't just walk out of there looking any kind of way.
Right.
We're representing each other and our brand, not just your team, but the NBA.
So think if that's corporate America, right? If we're saying look a certain way in the NBA or any professional sport, they say either fine or they say, okay, tell you what, either dress up or you can quit. You gonna get it right. So you telling me, trying to enter corporate America, you see the job of your dream, and they're telling you, hey, we just need you to wear, let's say you got tattoos or piercings or what have you, hey, on these days we need you to take this off, and they're paying you 150, 200K or something like that. You gonna tell them I quit because they gonna not let me be myself.
Right. That's crazy.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah. So think about that.
Right.
Right?
It's happening.
So like, nah, they're not letting me be me. Okay.
But I mean, even with the consequences of those things happening, you know, now you're making bad decisions.
Yeah.
You know, you're making real bad decisions, and you know, truly speaking, as I've said as a parent, you know, what you hate most is getting that phone call. You know, getting that phone call that your son has hurt somebody, or has gotten hurt himself, killed somebody, or got killed himself, you know, or he's in the hospital. You know, you dread those type of calls because you got to do right. You got to pay attention to your peers. You know, all your friends ain't your friends.
Yeah.
Hello?
Oh, one more time.
All your friends is not your friend.
As a matter of fact, you want to find out about yourself. Survey your friends.
Survey your friends.
That's a real survey.
Yeah.
That's who you are.
All your friends are not your friends.
If your friends are you know, innovative, you know, thinkers, and they're striving to be better, do better,
Right.
To create change and stuff like that, then you're in a good place because they're going to influence you. You guys are going to influence each other, kind of do the same thing. If you got friends who are not doing that, who are not positive influences, who aren't pushing you to be better, be bigger, be whatever, if they're jealous of who you are and what you are, like there has to be a sense, and it's a tough thing to do.
Yeah, it's tough.
You know,
Absolutely, it's tough.
I've got to a point where, you know, I've had to draw a small circle around, you know, the people who I consider friends for that reason only.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I have a 22-year-old son, and as a man, I can't. If I'm telling him to watch his friends, I can't have friends around me doing that same crap.
Right.
You know, so it's important not only, you know, for us to, you know, say it, but we got to do it too. We got to show them that.
Lead by example.
Get that job, go in, be professional, you know, speak the right way, do the right things, be surrounded by the right people, and good things will happen.
Yeah.
It's like I always tell my son, it's like when things happen and you look around like, why is this happening to me? I'm like, dude, look at the stuff you're doing.
Right.
Look at the position you're putting yourself in. It's like, he's always talking about, man, I don't know why I was late. Okay, dude, you were supposed to be there at 10. You got up at 9:45.
Oh my God.
And you live 10 minutes away.
Right.
You don't think you got to get dressed and you got to do this and you got to do that.
I mean,
You don't
process.
do all that. Yeah.
You gotta count for the
And
traffic
then you
for
always
accident,
say,
right? It's like I had.
man, that was an accident or whatever. Okay, you gotta assume that's gonna happen, you know. And it's just crazy how they think. But let me say this: I do love it. I love their energy.
Man.
I love their creativity. I love that they
Thank
go
you.
out there with a sense.
that. Yeah, no
you know, they go out there with a sense that they can do it. They can get it done. Those kind of Millennials, man, I love it. Whatever they need, I'm gonna help. I want them to succeed. So
I mean, they're our
I'm not
future.
here bashing.
They are truly our future, man. And
Really want to equip them.
Yeah.
To
But,
do more people.
you know, and Dame, I look to you too now, you know, as a millennial, and you dress nice, but you have your own style and everything else. But you got to realize too now, today in society, I'm not going to go from a law enforcement standpoint, but, you know, if you have a certain appearance,
Man.
you have a certain appearance, and people are really today are afraid of you, including your own people. Okay? Hello.
Yep.
Right? Including your own people are afraid of you. You know, some things you might want to just think about. You might want to just change a tad bit.
Like what? Don't say some things.
I mean, you know,
What are we
man,
saying
you
here?
listen, you 6'5", and you walking in, you know, looking crazy. You know, the average person looking at you, especially law enforcement, he ain't really, he or she ain't really trying to mess with you because, dude, you 6'5".
Right.
So if they come to you and they tell you something, you know, the thing, instead of having an attitude like, why you messing with me?
Right.
Or why you doing this? Just be compliant.
Man, that's the biggest issue.
Just be
with
compliant,
millennials.
man.
And I can say that. The biggest issue with millennials is that authority. That whole, like, adhering to authority thing
Can't tell me what to do.
That's it. Like that's it.
Can't tell me what to do today.
It's
no way.
Feel like we have our own, like we just deserve this respect, or we demand that. It's entitlement.
Things have changed. This is how things are now.
This is how things are now, and it's an entitlement thing. It's like, but what are you entitled to? Like breathing this fresh air, cool. Yeah. So are the rest of us. But like, But outside of that, like if you haven't done nothing, like why do you feel like you deserve all this stuff? You haven't gone out and set yourself up to be successful. You haven't gone out and built a business. You haven't gone out and started to learn how to manufacture something or about different industries and whatnot. If you haven't done any of that stuff, why do you deserve to be treated with all this respect and like you're this person and like you're that person and like you're the king or whatever? Like you don't deserve that.
And I pick on Dame because he's a millennial, right? We all agree. You tag. You're here today.
I'm here.
And I think about something that Damon had said in our last show, being on the plane. We talked about appearance, right? Damon, you played in the NFL, you played at Tennessee Titans, you played at St. Louis Rams, you're a star, you're from Arkansas, but you had your own appearance, as I said, and you too have learned some things too, as a millennial. You sit on the plane one day and you're like, man, you know what, I don't want to be talking to nobody, right? I pulled up my hoodie and put my hoodie on, but for one reason and one day, you didn't do that.
Talk to the lady.
You just talked to somebody, and it was a blessing for you.
Mm-hmm.
And millennial kids today, they don't communicate.
No,
they don't want to talk. They want to text you. You forgot how to communicate.
Yeah.
And Damon, your word today, it's all about communication.
That's what it is. And a lot of people don't communicate. But the thing is that you don't have to a lot of times. Like this right here doesn't happen. Dialogue doesn't happen enough. People just have conversation.
But we're talking about job creation, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about job creation. I got to talk to you.
Yeah.
I got to talk to you.
You do.
If I can't talk to you, I can't hire you.
You do.
Right?
That's
If I can't talk to you, how am I hire you? And if you can't talk to me, how am I hire you? Right?
And a lot of millennials aren't good at expressing themselves or, verbally expressing themselves.
Yeah.
Or being able to put their words together to make it make sense to people, because they're so used to.
Right.
Yeah, I know.
Sitting behind the screen.
Yeah.
And if you can't have a conversation with somebody, you can't do business.
So, fellas, we always trying to figure out solutions, what are some things you think that we can do better? How do we, go back to our own doors and our own platform where we've come out of, AD, we talked about going back into the NBA and talking to all the players, those are some type of solutions because we need influencers. We do need millennial influencers. We need more, Jay-Z is not a millennial. Drake is not a millennial. What is Drake a millennial? Yeah, Drake's a millennial, right?
He's still with us.
Yeah, he's still with us.
Still in there.
But we need, we need more of those influencers. We sat down with the young fellow, Haitian Fresh. He wants to be influenced to his Haitian community. We just need a lot more influencers that understand what we're saying too.
Right. Let's put it this way. I think that we have to educate millennials on their influence first of all.
Yes.
It's not. I don't think it's that we do need influencers. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But I think that millennials have to understand that they can have a positive influence with who and what they are, and there's a responsibility there.
Right.
Like you're saying, if someone can make a meme or whatever to make you laugh, they can also have the ability to make people feel good or to change the way they feel about this or about that. That's huge influence to me, and I don't think they use it the right way. And I don't think they understand that they have the power to change. When we were talking about going back and talking to NBA guys for me, we made big money. I'm not saying we did, but these guys today are making money that they can produce change. Like this isn't about just
If you take a lot of change.
If you take your, so this isn't about, you know, I know back in the day everybody was saying, feed my family, taking care of my family. So whatever they do today, they'll take care of their families. We're not talking about, you know, you can leave a legacy with the money that you have by putting a little bit of it away and just letting it be. So what they have to understand now is their influence is so much greater. And not just because of their amount of money, but because of their reach and their brand and the stage that the NBA, NFL, that, you know, Olympians have built. They can use that for such a powerful thing. We always talk about everybody coming together. Millennials, we want to see it more, just coming together, you know, building a platform and doing something with it to create some change. We're changing here with the way that we're thinking. I've always thanked Rodney for, you know, hey, there's a bigger world out here. You know, let's get into manufacturing. Let's get into minority businesses. Let's get into all this different stuff. And I never thought that big and that I can be a part of making such a big change. But here I am thinking differently, wanting to do bigger and better things, creating jobs. Like if we all thought about using our influence and our brand to better things and create jobs, the money will come.
Money comes.
I mean, you're chasing this money and this whatever. Just do something good and do it well to influence and to have change, and you'll get paid for it.
I mean,
you really will.
I mean, it's no different than all of us sitting in office as we do all the time, going through our strategy sessions, right? And when you look at these strategy sessions, you're like, oh my God, do y'all know how much we can really affect, change, create jobs, own manufacturing plants, you know, and train these young millennial kids who are not going to play in the NBA, not going to be in the Olympics, not going to play in the NFL, not going to be Major League Baseball, may not be a rapper, not going to play National Hockey League, you know, those high profile, they might, you know, and they're not going to even be a jockey. But they're too big to be a jockey, you know, in a derby, right?
And to excuse me, the richest people in the world are none of what you just mentioned.
None.
Let's just be serious.
You
know, I do understand that.
Come on with it, eh?
I understand that kids today see all of that as being sexy.
Yes.
It's sexy, to be a professional athlete with all this notoriety, this fame and this whatever. But I tell you right now, sometimes I wish I was a 6'2" dentist and had all the money and stuff that I had, because now I'm able to move around and do the things I need to without having that stuff. And let me say this again: all of the people you mentioned, professional athletes, actors, they're not in the top wealthy of the world. They're just not. Our millennials are chasing the wrong. They're chasing something that unless, like I said, we get athletes to understand that brand and its value and its power to create change is used, then really what I think millennials want is that notoriety. And they can get it so many other ways, and easier, and be a part of why go after being one of 1 million when there's so many other ways out here where you can create wealth and take care of yourself and and make more money than any professional athlete whatsoever. And the other thing I say, quit preaching.
No, go ahead. This is for them.
As an athlete, you may have 10 good years. Period.
That's it.
Period. And anytime you finish, you're going to be finished 35-ish.
35-ish.
And I'm hoping you live till you're 90. So you got more of your life to live on that back end anyway.
Yeah.
So don't pigeonhole yourself into wanting to be something that has this peak and then it falls off. And then here you are starting your life and trying to figure out what you're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a setup. I'm telling you, don't get me wrong. I am so thankful. Basketball has taken me across the world. I've met my wife. I've experienced a lot of things. I've had a lot of things. I've felt a lot. But here I am trying to recreate myself again.
Yeah.
It's like you step out into this world, I'm a rookie all over again.
Yeah.
You know, I got to get there before the meeting and stay after the meeting.
And you do that too.
I got to do all these different things over again.
Yeah.
Except for a lot of those doors are closed now.
And not most of them are. You know, now I got to work on opening new doors. And now I'm sitting here thinking, man, if I would have just thought about this when I was, like you said, while I was in it, man, I would have been so far ahead of the game.
Man. You know? And to touch on that, AD, I had, and I think I told Rod this story before, man. I had a guy, when I was in college, I was playing at SC. I think it was probably after my first year there. I was pretty highly rated. I was trying to, I was a redshirt sophomore, so I was trying to decide if I was going to come out or not. The numbers weren't looking the same, whatnot. So I was at a FedEx one time, and I was just talking to the guy behind me in line, and he said, "Hey, you're the Williams kid, huh?" I said, "Yes, sir." He said, you got a nice little career." He's like, "You staying? You leaving? What you got going on?" Right? So he's just asking me. I think he's just inquiring, right? So I talked to him for a long time, and just telling him, and he said one thing to me that always stuck to me. He said, "You know what, man? I asked him, I said, so what do you do, right?" And he said, "Oh, own this place." I said, "What? You own this place?" He's like, "Yeah, I own this FedEx." He's like, "Actually, I also own a clothing line. You may have heard of it, Patagonia." I was like, "You started Patagonia?" I'm like, "No, that's like the biggest clothing line in the world." "And you started it?" He's like, "Yeah." He said, "Now let me tell you something." He said, "I want you to make sure that as you grow up, you surround yourself with a real good circle." He said, "I'm going to tell you something. The worst thing for you is that you're going to make a lot of money." He said, "and everybody knows who you are." He said, "Oh, nobody knows who I am." And he said, "I do whatever I want to do."
Come on, man.
And ever since that day, I was like, you know what? There's a bigger world out here.
I think we into your story.
A better world.
we got the questions to answer too. We'll ask these questions, but to that point too, Dame, all of us has gone down to meet another millennial who's a billionaire.
Right.
Yeah.
Nate Paul.
People don't know.
Yeah, Nate Paul. I mean, maybe in his world they know him, but outside, if I say, "Hey, do you know Nate Paul?" It's like, "Who is that?"
Right.
Right? Nate Paul, we done sat with Nate, we done broke bread with Nate. He's a billionaire. And I mean, he's made some money in the real estate game. But we too will bring people like Nate so that the world, the listeners, the viewers can see people who have made billions and they didn't play sports.
Right.
They, not saying it's,
and there's a lot more,
actually. A lot more.
My whole point.
lot more.
If you take the number of athletes and you get this average number per se, and then you take the wealthiest of the world, like there's no comparison. There's nothing. And they're still making money
Absolutely.
while they're asleep.
Well,
I
we see,
get up and
and y'all know we
body.
see this every day, right?
Question: are there any athlete billionaires?
Michael Jordan.
Other than Michael
Jordan, Michael Magic.
Magic's there. Before we're done, Kobe will be there.
Kobe will be, yes.
And Tiger was knocking on the door.
Yeah.
He's not a billionaire now, but he was definitely knocking on the door. And other than that, I mean, like, people don't know some other, athletes they're up in the hundreds of millions, but. I mean,
again, how many?
But we didn't get to 10.
Yeah, how many was that?
We didn't get to 10.
We didn't
Out
get
of
to
all
10.
the sports, you know how many? 3, 2.5.
I think there's probably more that we don't know about. I mean, there is.
I'm sure it is.
There might be a couple baseball players.
I'm telling you, there's not 10.
Not 10.
There's not 10.
There's not.
What about entertainers?
Collectively, there's Like as a couple, there's a couple
Billion. Billion.
I don't know.
With the B.
I don't know.
Billion.
Entertainers that are.
Nah, that's what I'm saying.
We don't know anybody?
Is Diddy
No.
close? Diddy's might be close. J and B together, but that's what I'm saying.
But I mean, think about that, man.
You can't even get to 10 there.
Yeah. So we got a question, man, from Andrew Nash and Senior. With the response, and hello, Andrew, from all of us, hello.
What up, Andrew?
Hey, Andrew.
With responsibility comes accountability. How do we set up a mentor relationship with millennial workers? How do we set up a mentor relationship with millennial workers?
It's a good question, Andrew.
You know, well, one of the solutions that we actually did talk about is our mentor protege program will be through Penn.
Mm-hmm.
But it'll be a program that's going to start in the high schools, you know, because of some, we were talking about this earlier. They know social media. They know social media. And we wanted to try to train a lot of these kids in the social media world that they can actually work for these mom and pop shops. But now when it comes to the manufacturing world that we see on the day to day, you know, this is one thing that we all see now more than any time ever in our lives, right? We're trying to teach these kids and have other big corporations, construction companies, you know, big janitorial companies, whatever. Not the sexy stuff.
Right.
So now to come in and try to educate these kids on how they can get in this space. Because a lot of them, the space, we talked about the look, right? We talked about the tags. We talked about, you know, the personalities. A lot of them not going to be able to work in corporate America, no way. Okay, and let's just face it, they're not going to be able to work there. But there is a skill set job that you can work. Even if it's in that plant, you can still become that wealthy person in that plant, or even become to own that plant one day, you know, or become a successor of that plant, because somebody who owns that plant see how you work, how you scale in this business, and they decide, you know what, I don't have a son, or do I have a daughter or something like that. I want to make you the success of this company.
Right.
That happens.
That happens.
That does happen, man. So it's like, you know, our role is to just give you the tools, you know, try to educate you as much as we can by bringing in major corporations, skill set people, just to train you, just to give you the opportunity to get trained on how you can work with these companies. Somebody made this right here, right? And I'm quite sure arts and crafts, you can make this, but there's a technique to it.
Yeah.
There's a tool that you got to use to make this, right?
But not only that, whoever made this has to get it out to the public.
Right.
Whether that be marketing, whether it be advertisement,
Yep.
whatever it
Yep.
is. So if you're good at social media, you don't have to be the people in the back making this.
No.
You could be the person in the front that's just posting it on the sites.
Yeah.
That's what they do today right now in the textile world, in the clothing world, because, you know, stores are closing.
Yeah. So
Everybody's online, shopping online, right? And it's kids or millennials or workers just doing all that to push all the product out there. So did we create this entitlement attitude that millennial kids have today?
No.
They ain't gonna be the first one to say, hey, Andrew,
Nope.
he said no, we did not create this entitled attitude.
The biggest issue that millennials have is taking ownership of who they are.
Taking ownership.
It's always something happened to them.
Yeah.
But why is this happening to me? Or why, like you said, or why did
Can't own it.
or
You
why
gotta
did
own it.
or like, well, I can't fix that because there's no way. Like, there's no chance that I can fix that because, you know, it's just set up against me. Man, give it up. Give it up, man.
Now, this is being spoken from the millennial now. This is Damon.
Listen,
the
man, I'm gonna
millennial.
tell you, I know myself very well.
Yeah.
The reason that I'm where I am right now is because I made a lot of mistakes and I've done a lot of good in other areas. But I figured out who I am. I know what I'm good at, and that's how I got here.
Yeah.
A lot of people aren't willing to do that because when you have to look at who you really are, especially in the situation that you're currently in and not who you aspire to be,
It wasn't your fault.
it wasn't your fault for one, but it's ugly looking at that sometimes, man. You have to be like,
Wow.
it's my fault that I'm here.
Right. Nobody did this to you now. Now, we know that yours are younger and yours is younger, but ours are older. We know that we provide everything for you. We gave you the tools. We gave you the love. We gave you the respect. We gave you the discipline, because we old school. We give the discipline too, right? We did all that. You should be making these mistakes.
Right.
Yeah.
And we have these conversations all the time. What are you thinking about? Right? And I'm like this. Rodney, Robert, what are you thinking about? I've only brought you in this company 3 times. 3 times. Yes, I'm talking about my sons, right? Rodney Jr., Robert Woods. I brought you in this company 3 times. And I keep giving you the opportunity to work this and own this and do this. That's not my fault. I love you. I do love you.
Right.
But dude, we got to keep working.
That's it.
We got to keep working, and this for you to have this. And it's you and all your peers to have these things. But it's not our fault. It's not our fault. We put the tools with you.
Yeah.
We showed you. We guided you. We loved you, right? We picked you up when you were down. Nobody has your back better than us, right? Your parents got your back. You know, most of your family got your back, but there's some challenges sometimes. But at the same time, my thing is, it's not our fault. You know, we gave you a lot of stuff, yes, that we didn't have growing up, but society changed. You got a cell phone.
Right. Yeah.
You got a car.
Right.
You know, because, you know, your mom and dad can't run all over town. You know, now you got a car and then you got a cell phone, something going on because, you know, things are happening in society and you faced with a lot of challenges. But all you got to do is just get it right. Now I know. You know, that's my thing. AD, you might want to chime in on that one.
You know, I think.
Sorry, son, I do love y'all, though. I really love. I want to bring you back and get it right.
I think as you know, just as we were growing up, we wanted to kind of do things our way, you know. But I think the hard part for me is I don't want to step into the process and not let my kids fail, but I do want to get them to understand that I have the answers to the test.
Right.
I don't need you to go and fail numerous times in order to get from point A to point B.
But I mean, my thing, and then we could do the cause and contrast amongst us right now.
Yeah.
My issue with that, because we all got our different opinions about something.
Right.
My issue is when you fail, sometimes you can't get back up. You know, so I try to prevent that from happening, because anywhere it goes, as a parent, you're going to get that call. You're going to get that call and you still got to deal with it. So, you know, if you can, I just feel like it's not going to hurt me at all to talk to you every day. Just stay in your face as much as I can.
Right.
Or stay on the phone. I'm not going to be texting you back and forth. I'm going to be talking to you.
Right.
But it's not going to hurt me to keep saying, man, you can't do that.
Right.
Don't do this, man. If I got to tell you every day to stop you from falling that bigger hole, because when you get that hole, and you know this, it's hard to get out. Once you get all this on you, once you get locked up, you do this, or dude, it's hard to get out that hole. So I'll be like, okay, they're like, well, I'm gonna let him just fall. I'm gonna let him fail. I don't really want to do that because why? When you fall, you don't know when you really gonna fall, and you can't get up and get out, or you don't know when you fall, ain't no more getting there.
That's my point.
Yeah.
You know, these millennials, like I used to say this about kids. When I was young and I was growing up, and Mama would put her hand over the fire and say, hot, hot, hot. And I would say, hot, hot, hot. And I would know and trust my mom.
It's hot. They trying.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
My kids.
They're trying. They got to see it for themselves.
I had to take my son's hand and put it on his and let his hand, excuse my get burned before he would trust that what I said is the truth.
Right.
Like they can't watch like Gilligan's Island and stuff like that. That ain't real. What are you talking about? That is not real. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I just think this sense of, you know, this sense of like this reality kind of TV stuff, everything, if it's not real, if it's not right there in their face, if it's not something they're experiencing, they are going to have to fail in their own way.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, yes, they step in a big hole, And it's hard for them to proceed from that point forward. You don't want them to get to that point where they have a blemish on their record. It's hard for them to get a job.
Right.
But to me, if some of that is what it takes for them to get their stuff, because I can't keep rescuing you from yourself. And sooner or later, you're going to have to take responsibility for your actions, for your decisions, for your whatever.
Yeah.
And I want you to be better at that. But I also have to realize that, you know, I have to take the training wheels off, and I have to, you know, when you fall down, I just got to be there to pick you up, because I can't let you go through life thinking that, you know, you're at the bowling alley and there's guardrails. No matter what, life doesn't have guardrails all the time.
It does not. Yeah.
You know, they're there, and we want you to know that there is support, there's guidelines, there's rules that everybody live by. And, you know, if you're not going to heed to those, then I don't know how much more I can do.
Right.
I'm going to keep telling you every day. I'm going to try to help you as much as I can.
That ain't cost me no money. You know what I mean? I will keep talking. Dang, you know I love you, man. I know it.
Yeah,
right.
So to answer your question, I know that came from Andrew Nash Sr.
Yeah.
He's probably a junior. So Mr. Nash, you should tell Junior, hey, he's got to take ownership, man. Like it's at the end of the day, it's not up to you to guide you. It's up to you to provide guidance, but it's not up to you to guide your kid. They got to make those decisions on their own, man.
Yeah. So we got a question from Cameron, GQ, Jermaine. To backdoor on that as millennial, what are the correct steps transitioning that mentor relationship to the next step of the real world as far as building a strong foundation you guys spoke of? You know, himself graduated college in 2014. I've worked on the corporate level, made my mistakes, learned a lot. As I pursue entrepreneurship now, what exactly is the foundation I need to be built? You know, so
I think it starts with relationships.
Yeah, relationships, absolutely.
You know, having the right relationships. Right. I think one of the things I've learned is sometimes it's not what you know, but it's what
who you know.
You know what I mean? And we talk about this mentorship, and we've also touched on another subject of who you surround yourself with.
So you surround yourself with
about your
friends.
circle.
Right.
So to me, it's like, you know, and I hear this from millennials all the time. My daughter said, you know, I got my degree, and I hate this. I hate this dream, this American dream of go to college, you know, get out there, get a job,
It's not fair,
get married, get, you know, buy this house with this white picket fence.
Why does everybody say the white picket fence though?
That's the American dream. You know, it's like, you know, and I'm just saying.
Okay.
I get it. You know, but it just doesn't work like that.
Right.
You know, and I think that I have no problem, you know, yes, go to college, get a degree, realize that finding your passion to me is even more important than anything.
That's it.
Because you can go work in a job or you can go follow your passion.
Yeah.
And you just have to understand, well, how do I turn this passion I have where I can make money off of it?
How do you monetize
off
your passion?
Off your passion. Because you can't, so many times we want to just go get a job without understanding that sooner or later, as you wake up every morning trying to get to that job, there's going to be this fight of, why am I going? Like,
I don't want to go.
Right.
I don't even like it. I can't stand the boss. I can't stand the people.
Man, I tell my daughter she loves, you know, creating websites and all that. She'll do it just sitting there chilling. That's your passion. Right. Now we got to monetize off that. We can't monetize unless you get experience. Listen, millennials, listen. You may have to take a job not making as much money so that you can get this experience so that you can get back in.
You're going to say, go hit him again.
One more time.
You have to listen. I've told some guys who say wanted to coach and all that after they were playing in the league and all. I said, listen, you don't need the money. Go coach for free.
Yeah.
Go coach for free.
Get
Go
the
scout for
experience.
free.
Get
Get
the
that
experience.
experience. Get in the door. Figure it out.
Yeah.
Like learn what the business is all about. Then you can go out and start your own business. You
Right.
can do whatever you want to.
Right,
At that
right,
point,
right.
Millennials want to come in making 100, 200.
Yeah.
They want to floss. They want to. I'm like, what have you done? Like, wait a minute. Take a step back. Go listen. Go do your part. Go invest in it.
Yeah.
Whatever way you're gonna have to sacrifice a little bit in the beginning.
And
to
investment
get
is
it.
not always money.
And it's not. It's
Yeah.
time. It's energy. It's doing the remedial job so that you can get ahead. And that's. I just don't understand how you think you're gonna come in and be CEO, or you're gonna come in. I'm gonna be the VP of blah blah. It doesn't work like. It doesn't even work like that
Don't
in
even
sports.
know.
You know,
It doesn't work like that in
No.
sports.
No.
And my first year, I'm carrying bags. I'm going to get donuts. I'm doing all kind of crazy stuff.
Yes.
Man,
Now, I think to what you're saying is like if it's funny because this whole entrepreneurial society, right? Some people were in corporate America and realize, you know what? I don't want this no more.
No.
I don't want to work with. I want to work for myself, right?
Yeah.
Which is
And-
okay.
Which is
That's what I
happening.
do, right?
No. It's happening.
So yeah,
It's happening now.
every day.
Yes, every day.
Now more than ever, right? But I'll say, like you said, if you are in a job that you wanted and like, but you didn't like who it was, get to know more about the position. Go talk to the CEO, man. Like, how did you get here?
Yeah.
Or the company
Ask
you work for,
questions.
how did it start? Find some information now before you decide to exit and be an entrepreneur.
You
right?
should talk
that
about
part right
mentorship.
there.
Mentorship should be that.
That
If
mentorship.
you enter this
You have
job at
in-house
an entering
mentorship.
position, yes, go talk to the VP of this. Go talk to people
Ask
up
questions.
there to see how they got there,
And
how long it took.
And then, you know, the older we're becoming, I don't mind dropping some knowledge to a young kid that wants to know.
Yeah.
That's exciting. You want to know how I got? Let's sit down and have some lunch. You'd be surprised what that conversation may cultivate into.
And that's the thing that we try to create that environment. We try to create these solutions because you do need to communicate. You know, relationships is everything, you know, today. I mean, and D&D connection, Damian Doc, you guys have created a company around relationships.
And literally, I was just about to say
Right,
to
right.
answer your question, Cameron. Find something that you already do. Like
Yeah.
Doc and I started our business based on stuff we've been doing for years. Like it was never like we've been connecting
the
people
dots.
forever. It wasn't like it was a difficult task to do. It was something I've been doing. It was something Doc had been doing.
Yeah.
We just had to realize, like you said, like, okay, so how do we monetize this?
Yeah.
And then you go and find out who has done it, how they did it, and ask questions. You know what I was thinking about? Remember the kid we went to that Christmas party, the kid from SMU?
Yes.
He was one of the brightest kids I ever met. Like, no lie, when I got done talking to him, I told Doc, I said, man, I wish when I was 19 I was him.
Exactly.
Thinking like that.
And I was
Exactly.
thinking like him. The kid, we was at a Christmas party and Doc and I were in the corner discussing something, and this kid walked up to us. He's like, hey, I like y'all suits. And he was dressed super dapper, like had the bow tie to the nines, right? So he was like, I like y'all suits, man. He was like, you know, what do y'all do? And just started asking us a bunch of questions. We started talking to him. He started getting into nuts and bolts of like, no, how do y'all do it and all this stuff.
Right.
And then so we got done. He's like, you got a card? So we gave him a card. Kid had a pocket full of cards, right? So that was already impressive. But we gave him a card, and he looked at the card, he flicked it, he said, that's good quality, man. I'm putting this one in the front. Because some of these, man, he's like, I can't take some of these people serious. Their business card's not even shit. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, this kid's 19.
Right.
But that's how he was thinking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I told Doc.
I know our marketing department loves to hear that. The kid in the marketing department, he's like, oh, yeah, you need a good card.
Yeah, man. And I remember talking to this kid, and I'm sitting there thinking, like, when I was 19, I was nowhere close to that.
Yeah.
Like, not even close.
When I was 19, I was 15.
Straight up. I was nowhere close.
If you don't, I'll try to end it with this and that. Get to know who you know.
Yeah.
And I know that sounds simple.
Kind of cliche.
Yeah, it's cliche, but no.
It's the right thing.
Get to know who you already know, and you'd be surprised the information they may tell you. Because you never thought to ask that question. You knew him from oh, that's my boy, or that's my homegirl, or this so-and-so. He does this, that. But no, get to know who you know.
Yep. And we've always talked about this, man, and we say this ourselves even today. Without our relationships, we're not gonna get anywhere.
No.
If we don't have relationships that we can actually call upon and tell them what we're trying to do and how how can we accomplish this, how do we even get a show? You know, we didn't have relationships, we don't have the know-how. There's no way to do a lot of this stuff.
Listen,
you know
what your network, and your network is your network.
Yeah.
It's
And
true.
the thing about nobody wants to give you anything now if they really don't have a relationship with you.
That's it.
You know, yeah, you're gonna go on a job interview, and that's true. We're talking about job creation, but you know, you may have a good relationship with somebody in that facility, in that plant, in that corporation, and people like to work with people they know, to a point, right? Because sometimes you're like, nah, I know you,
Right.
I ain't working with you, because I know how you are. So you got a relationship with them, but you know it's not good for us to work
But
together.
that's not a bad thing. 'Cause
Not a
you
bad
gotta know
thing.
that.
Right. You
You
gotta
gotta know not
you gotta
to do
know,
bad
right.
business, right?
All right. You know, I'm not gonna trade up for him right there
No.
because I know he ain't
I
gonna work
know he's
hard.
not gonna do it.
I know he ain't gonna work hard. I remember, I never forget today, just going back to the context of sports. I don't know, I should probably do this. But anyway,
Oh boy.
a few of the guys on the Cowboy team was saying, I won't even talk who, but they was like, man, I don't know why we got this cat because he can't cover nobody one-on-one. So they always had to pay to cover two so they can cover him up.
Yep.
You know, because
Gotta hide him.
they had to hide him. They got to hide him because they knew that he
get
couldn't cover
exposed.
nobody, right? He gets exposed. I mean, AD, you know how it is playing ball.
Yeah.
There's certain guys you know that can't play no defense. If defense played them, they still can't play defense, but they can score.
Right.
But you gotta cover them up on the defensive side, and it's the same in this world. There are certain people that you gotta cover up, even when it comes to work.
Yep.
Because somebody's not getting their work done, you gotta cover that up, you know, because you care about them.
Yeah.
You don't want them to lose their job. You know, or this is a young kid who's trying to get there, but he or she ain't there yet.
Right.
So you're trying to cover up for them. But that's because they like you and they doing this for you because they got a relationship with you and they like you.
Yeah.
They see something in you that you can't even see in yourself. Right?
Yeah.
So it's like, so I go back, man. I do. I pick, y'all know I pick on my sons quite a bit. Well, all I pick on my sons because I love my sons, you know. And my daughter, I hope she gonna come up and just be the bomb. You know, she's in college right now, so she's got a job. You know, she's gonna have a job with daddy no matter what. If she wants to work there, because a lot of millennial kids now don't want to work for their parents.
Man, listen, I was never working for my parents. I'll tell you that right now. I used to work for my mom. I was like 13, 14.
Right.
Working in the office. My mom was an insurance agency, right? So
Yeah.
I used to be in the office. I was doing stuff. I'm like, at 13-year-old, I was like, I'll never do insurance. I'll never work in here again.
It's a true thing, man. Kids don't want to work for their parents.
No.
But
Oh my.
but we're a different boat. Look at this is our boat right here. We're in a different boat now where we see everything. It's not like you just working for us.
Right.
You get a chance to get exposed. And I know you guys can relate to this. You get exposed to stuff that we never thought we would ever see.
Right.
Never in our lifetime did we think we would see the things that we see. From a manufacturing perspective, from, you know, different jobs, different outlets, social media, you know, marketing, advertising, PR, everything you think of.
But I think that's what's great about what we're doing is you may not like insurance, you may not like whatever, but whatever your personality is,
Yeah.
if you're a person who loves to travel, if you're a person who loves to talk, if you're a person who loves to sit behind a desk and crunch numbers, whatever it is,
There.
we can find something
there.
there very, very good
That is
for you to just be you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's what's so intriguing to me about what we're doing. There's not a person that can walk through this door that has passion about something that we can't figure out what
Absolutely.
we can do.
That's true. That's
Absolutely.
true.
Anybody.
And I will say this, to
Challenge
my
us.
mom's credit. Well, we come back to this. I love it.
I'm glad they was giving mom some love.
I love it. But to her credit, even though I hated what I was doing there, I learned a whole lot about insurance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like nobody, I just didn't feel like answering phones and filing papers.
And you know what? Everybody gotta have insurance too. Everybody gotta have
At
insurance.
that age, you wouldn't have liked whatever your parents.
Right,
And
right.
that's
It doesn't matter. She could have, unless they were doing something real sexy.
right.
Right.
My dad was a professional athlete. I might have wanted to be
Yeah,
Way different. Way different.
Now, I mean, you know, we're having good talks about millennial kids, and then there's probably the next segment when we come back next week. Like I said, we'll bring, you know, some law enforcement officials and just kind of be a cause and contrast because, you know, these ladies and guys see different things on a day-to-day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I too experienced a lot of that. I ran police athletic league, and that's where I've been knowing Doc since he was a kid. And my police athletic league, our midnight basketball program, that we had all these kids.
He was a bad kid.
No, he was
Yes.
not. No, Doc was not.
Doc was
Just curious.
Doc was not a bad kid. But he had a whole lot of bad kids with him, though. That was sure, right? But Doc wasn't playing basketball. Doc just had a lot of energy, a lot of talent, right? I told you, he ran everywhere he went. You tell him to go get some, he ran, he got it, you know. But not knowing years later he's going to progressively grow into the man he's growing into and be a 3-time Olympian, a good father, and, you know, good husband, all sorts of stuff. We knew he had a good. He was good then. He had a good attitude. Doc didn't like say anything back to you. He just did what you asked him to do. That's not the case today. You can't even ask too many kids to do something without them like, why?
Oh,
Why should I do that? Or you got to explain. I told you to take out the trash and do X. Well, I was gonna take it out. What happened to like just do it so you can have life on your terms? Because I always said, if you don't do what I tell you to do, life's on my terms now.
Yeah.
Right.
Just like it is in business, you don't do what I tell you to do, you gotta go.
I never thought about asking my parents why.
right. You were about to
I was about to ask that. That was the question. Like, nah, right? I'm not asking that
Right.
one.
But no,
Because I
today,
said so. It's the answer every time.
I said so.
Yeah. But you do find yourself now. You guys know this. You do find yourself explaining more today to young millennials than we ever had to do ever before, because they know just as much as we know, not even from experience, but just from social media.
Right.
You know, they see everything, they hear everything, they want to imitate everything. It's all instant gratification, but that's not really going to be the real world when you get out here.
It's not.
You know, it's just not going to be the real world when you get out here. So if you don't take a hold of your life and have life on your terms now, you're going to have life on somebody else's terms. Law enforcement, jail, hospitals, you name it. It's going to be on somebody's terms.
Bad situation.
So, yes, a very bad situation, right? So our thing was like, as Andrew and others have asked us questions, you know, how do we help? How do we put programs on the ground? Well, we're calling on a lot of people to help us. It's not about us neither.
Right.
This ain't nothing about us. It's just we created something that we knew would impact a lot of people around us. We knew that we would create some job opportunities for these millennial kids because a lot of these mom and pop shops need them.
Right.
You know,
Some.
right?
That's huge.
Tons, right?
Tons.
They need them. And you talking about making America great again? This is how you truly do it. You know, and it takes a team. Oh, I'm sorry, did I say something wrong? Hold on, man. I'm not throwing anything out there, but I'm saying as a person who's a part of America, we're part of society. We can make America great again by educating a lot of millennial kids. They can work in these plants and businesses, or if it's insurance or whatever, you can work there. You know, we're just trying to give you the tools and opportunities to do so. We also knew we had to strengthen up that minority business community that's got good business. That just can't get access to capital. And Lord knows we've experienced it ourselves.
Yeah.
And we sit with athletes in entertainment that has liquidity, but we can't get to liquidity ourselves sometimes. So we had to change the game. We had to change our strategy. We had to use our relationships, right?
Yep.
You know, T-Mac is calling people. AD, you calling your folks. Doc, you calling yours. I'm calling mine. Dane, you calling your folks. We still have to call people to make this thing work because nobody really believed we were doing what we were doing. Right?
Yeah.
How y'all gonna put all this stuff together? And how you gonna help these kids? How you gonna help all these businesses and stuff? But we had to figure it out. We had to strategize. We had to put a plan together. And then, okay, yeah, we're passionate about it, but how do we monetize? We had to show them how we monetize. You can't go out here and do everything for anybody if you can't help yourself.
True.
If you can help yourself,
Right there.
we're not gonna be able to help everybody else anyway.
And I
You
think that's
got
the
to
whole
help
point.
self first anyway.
Yep. And that's the point.
Right. So that we get there, but you know, one thing that I know that you guys bought into was it was about team. It wasn't about self. It wasn't about one individual person. It's not about Rodney Woods. It wasn't about T-Mac. It wasn't about AD. It wasn't about Doc. It wasn't about Dane. It wasn't about the staff, Chiquita and Rhonda and Jesse and Kate. It wasn't about that. We all just became one accord. This is what we got to do. This is how we got to do it. Here's our roles and responsibilities. And now we got to implement this plan so that now we can change the lives. We can change the game.
Yes, sir.
AD's like, Rodney, I was president of Players Association. We done had a lot of programs. You've been in the NFL. You had a lot of programs. You've been in the Olympics. Everybody got programs. And we're not saying it's not good, but we know that now there's inherently a true disconnect when it comes to the NBA players, when it comes to NFL players, when it comes to Major League Baseball, when it comes to hockey, when it comes to just even the business community, and corporate America.
Yeah.
There's a huge disconnect, and we felt like, okay, here's a way for us to change the game. We created PN, PlaybookInvestorsNetwork.com. We created some other verticals. We got PN Global News that we're just trying to educate people on how to get to the next level, how to gain access to capital, how you want to hire millennial kids, no matter what you think. You're not going to be able to hire people that's 50, 60, 70 years old right now to come work in your plants.
Right.
It's not going to happen.
Right.
And then we got the other challenges that are going on in society now with, the deportation stuff and all that. I don't want to get caught up in the political world of that, but you still got pretty good jobs. Corporate America, and I've showed all of y'all this, they outsource all the work. Skill set people. These kids can own a lot. Some of these kids can become that 15, 16, 17 by the time they're 23 or 24 or 30 like Nate Paul. They can be a billionaire, man.
Yes.
They can be a billionaire for real.
That kid I was talking about that with SMU.
Can be a billionaire.
He could definitely make it.
Absolutely. It's a lot of, I won't say it's a whole lot of Mark Cubans and Mark Zuckerbergs and all this other stuff, but they did something well. They had a good blessing, but they got to a level that a lot of people would never think that they can get there. First of all, you got to say, I know I can get to $1 billion status. I know I can be a $1 billion operation. I told y'all this. Y'all like, Rodney, shut up. What? What is this stuff you're talking about?
I just said shut up, just like show me.
Show me. Okay.
I might have said shut up.
Yeah, me and him fight all the time. And then I had to prove my point with him. So, and he proves his, so we good. But at the same time, we didn't wake up saying, and I know we all guilty of this, we didn't wake up saying, you know what, man, we can pull this thing together, we can build a $1 billion operation and help so many people.
Right.
Isn't that amazing?
Right.
To even say it, though. AD, you've been there.
Yeah. Be easy with that B word.
No, hey, man, we don't even think about past that point. Why? Well, we know we get there because we're going to help so many people. So, you share in that wealth. You share in that job creation. You share in them investors putting money into these businesses. We want to have our own fund. We've talked about it. We not only just talked about it, we're doing it. We actually doing it. So.
And I think that's the beauty of having this conversation. At the end of the day, we're talking about PN and what it'll be able to do for job creation, not just for millennials, for anybody. Particularly, we're talking about millennials. The exposure that's going to happen. We talk about mentorship. When you bring a millennial in or whoever in, they're exposed to a window cleaning company that's worth $2 million, $2 million, or maybe you're like, I have no idea about this. Cleaning windows. How does this? I didn't know this was possible. Right. So, and I think that exposure, along with the education, it's gonna do a lot. Cause I'm just thinking from our standpoint. Like, you could have told me 5 years ago, 2 years ago, I'd be sitting there talking about job creation.
Right.
And how I'm ready to do that and help, and like, what?
Right.
Job creation. You know,
Right.
but with Penn and the portal and all the companies we're gonna have in there, we're gonna be able to create jobs and make exposure to, allow people to be exposed to the unsexy job they had no idea existed and doing very well.
You know what is sexy though? Make a lot of money. Period. So some of these jobs don't look as sexy to you from the aesthetic standpoint, but on the back end, it's probably real sexy when you go home with, you went home with 700,000 this year, or the next year you go home with 2.2 or whatever it is.
You realize
like
how many millennial kids could really do that though?
Yeah, because they have access to everything.
Everything.
I read a story the other day, and it was about Odell Beckham Jr. And he's done a lot in the community. He's done a lot of philanthropic stuff. And so he went to see a kid. Kid was dying in the hospital. He went and saw the kid, and literally the kid died a couple days later. Okay? And I was sitting there thinking, like, when I was a little kid, if I had been sick and wanted to meet Tracy McGrady, that wouldn't have happened. There's no way I would have got to him. Like, how? I was going to write him a letter to an address I don't know. Remember when we had the yellow pages? Like, you have to go through, look through that thing.
They were like, oh, right?
No, I'm just saying, it doesn't exist no more. I remember as a kid, like, that stuff doesn't, we don't have it anymore.
Yeah.
And, like, I was just sitting there thinking about, like, the access that kids have now. That kid put a video up on Instagram, and had people share it, and somebody saw the video and tagged Odell, and a bunch of people kept tagging him, and he saw it. And he went and saw the kid, and that kid got his dying wish.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking, like, when I was a kid, that would have never happened. I couldn't have gotten there. And that's what kids today need to understand. It's like, you have access to everything. Like, you have access to everything. All the information that you possibly could need about any industry, any aspect of anything you're trying to do.
So you saying there should be no excuse.
No excuse.
That's my point.
You gotta want to.
no
You gotta
excuse.
use it.
You just gotta have that drive and want to do it. People look at Zuckerberg and they're like, yeah, he did this, this, and this. They forget that he held like a couple sessions where he was up like 72 hours, never went to sleep. Only time he got up was went to the bathroom. People was bringing him food. Like, hey, dude, you need to eat. He's coding away, like, never, nonstop. Like, people don't see that stuff.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, yeah, he stole somebody's idea and,
They don't see our 8, 9, 10-hour meetings, do they?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. They don't know we were here till 7:30 yesterday.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And then went and had dinner and kept me. You know, like, they don't know that stuff. And that's the part, it's like, you gotta really want it. Because, like, there is no excuse for you not to have it. Yeah. It's just not.
You know, I tell you, man, I say this, you know, we've been doing this show now, 17 weeks, I believe, 17 weeks. And we do try to have different topics. We are starting to bring in more subject matter experts on certain things. We're going to have, you know, some law enforcement officials here just to continue the millennial piece, you know, to talk about it because it's important. And it's important to hear their side of what they see on a day-to-day. Right, and I know what I saw on a day-to-day. You know, I want to reserve that until, you know, next week. But we're going to start bringing corporations through, and we'll get ready to go into another studio here in Dallas as well. So we're going to start to bring our corporations to the table to talk about, you know, how they view people, how they view other vendors to work with them and stuff like that, especially from the diversity aspect that we actually play in that space. We play in the diversity inclusion side where we try to help more companies get in with these major corporations and provide the services for them. And that's why I say it's a lot of opportunities, but you got to know how to tap into those type of opportunities. So as we continue to scale and grow the show, which we want to grow the show in all 50 states, as we want to grow Penn playbook in all 50 states. We're doing some some real unique, some real special things is coming up here pretty soon, and we'll be announcing those things that we'll be coming out with, so people understand where we are, who we are, how we got here, how we can help you, how you help us, the whole nine. Because we always got the little cliche saying that it takes a village to raise a child, but it takes a village to even raise these businesses too, right? Right. So that's kind of where we are. But again, having partners like Damian Williams and Darvish Dr. Patton, Antonio Davis, myself, Rodney Woods, Trace McGrady, and Jess McRae, and all the team, that's a blessing.
Right.
That we all on one accord, and we all believe in this one mission and trying to turn things around, trying to turn society around, trying to change the game and make people aware.
Right.
We're not forcing on anybody. We're just trying to make them aware. There are other things out here, other opportunities out here. A lot of these kids, you don't have to really go hang out and just be crazy and bad. Do something with your life. Really do something right, really, really good with your life. Do something good, period. Don't just be out there doing that. Okay, I know if I do this, I'm gonna get locked in. I do this right here, I might not make it.
Right.
It's time out for all that. You don't know what's promised on the other side anyway. But you do need to make good while you're here, and that's what we're trying to do, make good while we're here. When we're leaving the show, we always try to say if there's any one of us got a comment or an idea, we're gonna go ahead and say what we need to say before we close the show out today. Doc, we're gonna start with you. Because you run the fastest.
You gotta get us in the lead.
Right.
Now, again, I'm just, I'm grateful for the opportunity to be part of this portal, part of PEN, part of this partnership with the team and everybody else, and I'm just grateful for the exposure that I've learned.
Yeah.
And now I'm able to, give back and educate others with this platform. I would just encourage everybody to, continue to follow us.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sound like one of those live people. Make sure you like it, share it, visit the website because there's gonna be a lot more to come. And let us know we can probably get better. Submit some of your topics, what you want to know about, so we can probably address them come next week. But at the end of the day, I'm just grateful for the opportunity to see this thing grow.
Dang.
And I'm going to piggyback on that. This movement, and I say movement because it truly is a movement of what we're trying to do here. I think it's impressive, Rodney. Like what the team that you put together and what we have that we're getting ready to share with the public. Like it's very impressive. And like you said, man, I'm grateful to be a part of it. What I'm not grateful for, what I am grateful for, is that I drive around looking at all kinds of crazy stuff. Like, on my regular drive, I'm thinking about how I could get who painted the side of this truck, or like those dumpsters over there. Like, what are they doing with those? Like who makes the wheels on the dumpster?
Right.
Like
we can own that though.
we can own that.
Who got that contract?
You
How
feel
they
me?
get that contract?
And I literally, I just drive down the street all day thinking that stuff. Now, when I don't know what I used to think about. I don't know what I used to
We want all the fellas to be thinking about that.
Right.
They can own this stuff.
Absolutely.
AD?
I just want to encourage millennials and say, like, hey, who and what you are is a great thing. Find your passion. Don't let anybody tell you can't do this or you can't do that. And but just understand that there's always a way that things need to be done. And we're here to open doors for you, pull you through, and give you resources and opportunities. And the only thing we want is to see you, grow and do the same thing for somebody else.
Yeah,
that's
Pull
it.
somebody else through. Millennials, stick together, do your thing, and just know we're here to help in any way that we can. To my daughter who's watching, who is that next one that kind of show us how to get things done.
Okay.
I always, just tell her too, you get that experience, you go on, you do your own thing, you create your own job, you create your own opportunities, but it always comes with patience and getting the job.
Right. Man, I tell you, as always, man, it's always a privilege. It's always an honor to be amongst, good brothers, good partners. We will miss Tracy, and congratulations, Mac, on your Hall of Fame success this Friday. You're a good brother. You've been a good partner to us as well. We miss our wordsmith, J Mac, today. We hopefully see J Mac tomorrow and all our teams. But to all the listening audience and the viewers, always visit us at www.playbookinvestorsnetwork.com. You can also visit us on Twitter at PB1Net1. Facebook is PN Global News or Playbook Investors Network. You can visit us there. From all of us, again, it's a privilege just to be sitting here, be looking, be talking, standing up straight, and still trying to make something happen and turn this life around and turn this world around and turn these millennial kids around and create jobs. And also help, a lot of these corporations understand that we're trying to help minority businesses, women-owned, government, LGBT companies getting access to capital. So until next week, we'll be in the studio next week, and we'll see all you guys next week. Have a wonderful week. Great weekend. See you next week. All right.
And check this out.